So we're now on to Game 3 of the first day of the Brawler Bash tournament, and so far I'm having mixed results. The first game, I really got destroyed. The second game, I really did awesome, and now I want to end the first day with a real big win. And I'm actually up against Tomb Kings. Now, Tomb Kings are kind of a mixed bag. You know, really, if I get to them, I could just tear them apart, but in my experience, there usually is Archon the Black, and he does mean little purple suns, and it could be really bad. Luckily, the guy I'm up against decided that he wasn't going to go the Archon the Black route. So once I heard that, I was feeling great. So the mission here is one where you're supposed to take your 3 cheapest units, try and keep them alive, try and destroy the cheapest units from the other side, and otherwise, yeah, it's time to go and kill some Tomb Kings. So let's see what happens. Alright, so here's kind of, it's really focusing kind of on the Sphinx here, but the big thing is that even though he doesn't have Archon the Black, he still has a good amount of magic. This is an army I saw last year at Brawler Bash. I thought it was really cool. Has a Necro Titan or whatever made up there, really cool looking. But this one actually has like 4 wizards, a bunch of all these level 1s and stuff, so it's going to be no slouch. Otherwise, what we're looking at here is I got my river trolls on the left. I got a couple units of night goblins here, 2 units of regular trolls, and then you're going to see my savages on the far right. You know, one of the things I should mention now is I was starting to see that I was kind of glad I took the river trolls. You know, I could have just gone for, you know, some other type of troll, but I was actually seeing lots of marshes here. Otherwise, for him, he has a big old unit of chariots there, 8 chariots, I believe, some archers behind, then he has his Sphinx, then he has his bunker. Behind there, he has his Casket of Souls, if you're a Vol fan. Then he has his Necro Titan, or whatever that thing's called. He has a Scullipult. Then he has his big old unit of the what are they called? The Tomb Guard, and there he has his Prince, and there's also a Necrotech or whatever these things are, and then more archers. And yeah, I mean, really looking at this, I know that the chariots are going to be an issue. That's why those night goblins are actually further up, so that when they do come after me, I can release my fanatics and he can land on them, and it's going to be awesome. And over here, we can see something else I got going on. So the card I used for this game is the one where I get to Vanguard a core unit. It's awesome. It's the one I was hearing about before about Brawler Bash, and the one that I always love doing as well. So really, my savages are rushing up here, and really all I'm going to need to do is turn this corner now, and then all of a sudden there will seriously be threatening the flank here. Now, the units I'm going after is like the archers and the Scullipult and things, but one problem that can always be is those Tomb Guard. They're going to be, you know, weapon skill 6 automatically because the Prince is there. They're going to have Hatred because the Necrotech is in there. And then, of course, he has a lot of magic, and he can really buff these things up. So usually, you know, you would have a level 4, you would have a scroll. I don't have those things, so I'm going to have to be a little bit careful. But still, I mean, if I got savages in the flank and trolls in the front, I'm feeling pretty good. Oh yeah, unless of course I get totally screwed over by animosity again. So yeah, both these units fail animosity. They fight each other, and yeah, all of a sudden it's the whole thing where I can't move these guys up to the positions I want them to be in. My general can't be moving up, can't cast magic. Oh, by the way, I got Laura Metal again. Oh god, I can't believe this wizard hat is not doing what it's supposed to be doing. But not a good start. And as well, you know these guys that like vanguarded and got to a really cool position? Yeah, they decide to fail animosity too. So, come on, man. Just give me a good first turn. So once that's kind of done, I move up the best I can. Uh, yeah, I got the trolls kind of holding the line there. The night goblins are kind of in an okay spot. River trolls kind of threatening the flank, but really would have been nice to not fail animosity and have a little bit more control. Because I mean, like the savages should be wheeled this turn, right? So that they're between those two pieces of terrain, and then they could be going and really threatening my next turn. But oh, dang these first turn animosities. All right, so on his turn here, he charges in the chariots. Thought it was a little preemptive, but one of the things that was a problem with the way that I had to move my models here and couldn't really get them in line is that what should be happening is that he charges in, has to stop when he's 8 away from my night goblins. I send in the fanatics. He lands on them. He takes what would it be, 8d6 hits. I take the 4d6. You know, I have regen and stuff, and so his chariot should be decimated, like really hurt, losing like half the unit. Uh, but unfortunately, because of not being able to move into the positions I wanted, and you know, I can't really completely blame it just on animosity. I really just should have had the trolls be 1 inch further backwards, and then all of a sudden it would have worked. But as it did, pretty much I send through the fanatics. They do more damage to me than they do to him. And yeah, this was a really big lost opportunity. Yeah, just after that, he even gets some magic off here as well. He actually has a very bad first turn of magic where he fails to cast and lose concentration. So I get a little bit lucky here, but he beefs these guys up a little bit. And by the way, the Chariots also have the flaming banner, so of course they're going to do pretty freaking awesome. But after everything's done here, you can see that to kind of deal with the double threat of the Savages and everything, the Tomb Guard are forced to wheel to the right. I was really hoping that even with all these impact hits and stuff he's going to do to my Trolls, I'm probably going to be steadfast. All I need to do is really, you know, work these guys over and do lots of wounds, but I really just didn't do as much as I thought I was. So kind of kill some stuff there, but otherwise, I'm looking at this and I'm seeing opportunity. So these trolls should be enough to finish off these guys. The river trolls should be able to race around and get into a good position. And then looking there, I am looking at this Sphinx. Now, if you remember the last game against Lizardmen, I love doing the thing where I hit a monster or some other unit, destroy it, and then when I overrun, it puts me into the flank of a main combat unit. And that's really what I see here against the Sphinx. You know, Sphinxes are really tough because they're toughness 8, and it's really hard to hurt them. But the way you get past that is just with a mass of attacks. And so if I come in here with the trolls and I'll have a charge and 2 ranks and all of these attacks, all the 6s will go right through the wounds. And then after with crumbles, by the math, it should be destroyed. I'll overrun into the flank of the Tomb Guard. And then also I'm in a very good situation, especially since the Savages should be on their way coming in soon too. But I failed my charge. You know, I need like a 5 to make it, and I fail it. Yeah, this one's a 5, and it was just, I couldn't believe it. You know, it's just, I thought the fail was going to be is that maybe I charge in and my dice go a little bit worse, and so he survives, and I'll have to kind of like take the charge in from the other one too. But no, it's just a failed charge, and that sucks. As well, you probably don't see my Savages because they failed animosity again, so they're just doing nothing over there. So, you know, who cares about the Vanguard? Because I pretty much went nowhere. And against these Chariots again, I thought for sure this turn I'd be killing off some of these Chariots and making sure they're done. But no, they're still hanging on. So that really sucks. I also move up the trolls to kind of start swinging around the building, and then I move up my bunker to be behind the middle trolls, and then I say, you know what, there's no reason for me to be so aggressive, let's keep it back a bit. And I pass on the turn, and then I go and I just slap myself in the head, because in moving them back after, I am now out of range of leadership for the river trolls. So Yeah, leadership 4 stupidity, and this is just a big. I mean, dice are already starting to attack me through animosity and failed easy charges. Now I have to deal with my own screw ups as well. So this had me a little bit frustrated at myself. So on his turn, he's coming into me here, and this is going to be bad because I really want to take on the Sphinx first because it has the flaming breath. And so really anything that's going to take away my regen, I don't want to be in play. I want to take care of these. I can beat up these Tomb Guard, no problem, if they don't take away my regen. Now the way this is all set up, okay, first of all, it won't because he is really slow. However, remember, we're talking about super magic phase. And he has two different spells. Either he can be initiative 10 or he can be always strike first. And if he gets either of those onto the Sphinx, it'll go first, take away my regen, then the Tomb Guard will go, and this will be really bad times. So, yeah, this sucks. And the magic phase does go through and does really nasty things. I stopped the one spell. The other one goes through on the Sphinx. Can't remember which was which. I think I got Always Strike first. But yeah, he also got the spell on me where I'm -1 strength, -1 toughness. Got some sort of buff up onto his guys as well. Oh, man. I mean, that's the one thing that you have to give to the Tomb Kings is that they can have one hell of a magic phase. Between all their casters and channeling and the extra dice they get from the Chariot, they almost always have close to maximum power dice. And then every single time they cast, because that Necro Titan guy is there, they're getting an extra D3. And so, man, trying to face this with a level 2 with no scroll, this was kind of rough. So after everything is done, yeah, he beats the trolls. They break, but they get away. Otherwise, the Sphinx overruns into the combat. I actually win the combat because I kill all the chariots. Then I reform to be in the ranks there. But yeah, things are kind of falling apart. It could be a lot better if it just wasn't for a few dice. But what can you do? So on my turn over here, I kind of switch over bunkers. I get poison attacks, or what was it? No, I have Lore of Metal. I got up, I forgot, some sort of buff onto my guys here. I believe, no, I get +1 to hit. That's what it is. It was something to help there. So hopefully I can really smash on this Sphinx and destroy it. But, you know, with thanks to him smashing my bunker last turn with the Skullpult, I had to switch over and be safe over here. Plus, now I'm not going to be within leadership range of my River Trolls. And the River Trolls, what they decide to do is they kind of fail a charge here in the Archers. So whatever, you know, failing charges. It sounds fun, right? The little Savages, they decide to fail a charge too. You know, again, why get into combat? You're only a horde of Savage Orcs. Ah, come on. So after this turn, it's looking like this. The Trolls rally, but of course they're going to have to kind of deal with this whole issue here. Otherwise, yeah, I keep on trying to fight that Sphinx, do a couple of wounds to it. I would win that one eventually, but of course he's going to be coming back at me pretty quick here. And yeah, interesting times. So on his turn, he comes after me here. I flee with the Night Goblins, and then he redirects into the Trolls. And once that's done, he kills pretty much all the Trolls and reforms a face. Otherwise, what happened here is that he went and he attacked the Trolls there in the center, and I'm still grinding away. Man, would I love to have this thing finished off by now, but I'm just not rolling the sixes, and it's just not coming together, right? I'd love to be using these guys. However, at this point, I have been in a very, very bad spot where I have been screwed over by animosity. I've been screwed over by having bad rolls. I've been screwed over by my own personal stupidity with the River Trolls. You know, they could be a lot further in there. But I am now looking at this, and the sun is starting to gleam because I have two things going for me. One, The river trolls, he didn't really think about this with the bunker, but my river trolls can see his bunker. If I can get there and kill those guys, he has 4 characters in there. I'd be killing the Hierophant. Once you kill the Hierophant, all the other stuff's going to start to crumble. I'm going to get all these other points, and this is going to really turn the game for me. That's going to require a 6. I just got to roll a 6. And I figure since I failed a 5, I'm due. On the right side, he turned the back of his Necrotitan rather, to my savages, and with that, I'm thinking if I can make that charge, and again, you go closest to closest, I believe I need a 7 there or something, or maybe it's an 8, but either way, that was a little bit longer, but man, again, if I can make that one, I'll kill that guy. I could always overrun into the back of the bunker, and that would be amazing. By the way, while we're talking with the Necrotac, before I died, I did kill that guy from the bunker, so I got a little bit of points here, but at this point, I'm not getting very much, right? I got the chariots, I got them, and now it's like, god damn it, it is time to turn this game around, and it's time to start killing stuff like we're supposed to be. But I failed the charge over here. Well, actually, I failed my frenzy, so I had to charge the closest unit, and I was like, whatever, I'll just charge the archers, overrun to the Scullipede. Nope, failed the charge. And over here, I failed that one as well. Yep, can't make a 5, can't make a 6. Screw points, right? Those are for chumps. Now, there was one option that was available to me here, and remember, we have these cards that are going on, and you also get these lucky days. Now, the lucky days you can use to negate the charge or the card of somebody else. So you know how I use the Vanguard. Somebody could use the lucky day to stop that, or you could use them to automatically get a 7. Now, normally you only get 1 of these cards, but this year they gave you 2 because it was an anniversary thing. So I could have used the card to automatically get that 7, but hey, you know it's a 6, and I figure I'm going to go with the math, and hey, I might need to use that card later to stop a first turn or something like that. So I saved it, and it didn't work. So, I mean, I talked to some of the other YouTubers, and they said, you know what, in the same situation, they would have rolled it as well, because the odds are really in my favor. But then again, I am still looking back on this and regretting it, because this point here could have been a huge swing in this game, and it's a massive, massive opportunity lost. And then, at this point, I figure I'm doing too good. So I cast some magic. I dimensionally cascade. The explosion isn't so bad because I'm inside this hut now, the building. So the blast only hits like D6 of our guys. However, I sucked my general to the warp. So at this point, I am getting very frustrated. I have had all this game is just going down the toilet, and all of a sudden in this turn where it seemed like it was going to be the gleaming turnaround, nope, it's going to Crapsville. So end of this turn, it looks kind of like this. I have all the failures, fight the Sphinx. Sphinx still didn't die because I just can't finish that bugger off, and now I'm going to get some Tomb Guard in the rear. And that's gonna feel horrible. And so he beats me up. I flee and get away. I can't remember if he decided to hold and reform with the Sphinx, or whether he chased me with both and just failed both. But either way, this is where we ended up. He had kind of like this big debate about when he moved up his bunker about whether my trolls could still see it, and he kept on trying to measure it, and it looked into me. He said it wasn't in, and I told him, dude, I just don't care. Like, seriously, I'm going to fail this leadership 4, and I'm not going to be able to charge anyway. But it turned into this 5-minute discussion, and then in the end, he's like, okay, just to be sure, since I did a swift reform and move, do you mind if I just take my back rank and put it on the side? Because I could have done that. I'm like, whatever. I do not care. This game is basically over. And unless I get super, super lucky, it's just nothing's going to happen. So my turn. What do you know? I don't make my little leadership for stupidity, so we do nothing. Otherwise, the trolls keep running. The savages, hey, they finally decide to do something. They charge into the archers, kill them, and overrun into the scullipult. So that gets me some points. And then on his turn, he is able to get the trolls. Believe he just kind of charged them and made them go off the board. And now he's going to try and face the river trolls on the left. Now, I got out of the building and hopped to the other side so he couldn't charge me. And then he started hitting them with some magic, so they're pretty weak. But yeah, you know, threatening the flank of the river trolls, that'd be an easy way to get all those points. So on my turn, what do you know? I fail stupidity again. And then what happens at the bottom? Something else happens at the bottom too, and maybe it's some shooting he did or something, but basically my BSB is dead now too, and his unit is fleeing and is going to be going off the board. So this thing here, I'm going to call my gift to my opponent, because he was looking at this and he's like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I should be sending in my Sphinx, you know, it's just kind of risky and all these stuff. And I was like, dude, listen to me. You know, what you should do is charge in your Sphinx and charge in your bunker. Oh, well, but the characters, what if you kill my characters? It doesn't matter about the characters. Come in here and get these points. This is 720 points, and there is no reason not to go for this. I'm a leadership 4. You're going to win. I'm going to be in double ones, and you'll have 2 chances to run me down. And after I explained it that way, he's like, yeah, let's do it. So he comes in here, gets off a crap ton of magic. So it's just super, super puts in his favor. And so what do you know? He beats my trolls, runs them down, gets all those points. Otherwise, I was able to destroy his scullipult. Yay, points! And he gets the massive win. So there you go, a big win for the Tomb Kings. And I gotta say, this game was not enjoyable at all. As an Orc and Goblin player, I'm used that things go wrong, right? You play the game, and sometimes things go wacky. But there is a huge difference between a few things going wrong and the whole thing just going to shit. Yeah, I mean, I know I don't normally swear, but this game was just a pile of shit. And, you know, there's a different things where there's like, okay, I got the failed animosity. That really sucked for like the general and really holding back my front line to start. The savages, who should have played a massive role in this game, vanguarding up, then failing animosity twice to really just like that whole movement was a waste. If I did not vanguard, but instead got those 2 turns without animosity, I would have been farther. And it was just, oh my god. And then after that, you know, we have the failed major charge in the center there, which could have really changed the game at the start. Then we have the failed charge with the river trolls. And it's just like, come on, dice. Then just a little cherry on the top is the dimensional cascade to really say like, oh, you didn't think this game was over? No, it is freaking over. Pack up your crap. And you know, that alone, like if it was those 3 things together, like if those things happened to Anthony, the table would be flipped, you know, he would have gone postal, killed everyone. But for me, I've been like, okay, you know, it's Orcs and Goblins, it's all right. But there's another part to this too, which is the mistakes that I made. The mistake where I had the trap set up for the chariots and all this, and because I wasn't careful and because I kind of just, I don't know, didn't have my trolls 1 more inch back, it made a huge difference, right? Those chariots should have taken an extra 46 hits at strength 5 armor piercing, and that combat is completely different. So that one is totally on me. That's just me not measuring it out and being careful, right? When it came in, I was like, damn it, I hit, and I'm through. You didn't land on them. And so that's all my fault. As well, the trolls, the river trolls, where I had them all set up going around the one flank, and then I decided to pull back my bunker because I was going to be safe, and then all of a sudden they failed stupidity. If it wasn't for that, they could have used that 12 inches to swing around the building. And I mean, sure, I had that mischarge after, but they could have been right in that grill and really causing a lot of trouble. So that was another one on me. So when you put all those things together, and as well too, I'll say, I mean, like the opponent is generally a nice guy and stuff, but in this situation here, he was really competing with the other Tomb King player. So during the whole game, he was just like attack, 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 which is what he should be doing. But even that made the game less enjoyable. Say like with the first game where I was getting destroyed as well, but we're talking, we're joking. When I'm trying to talk and joke with him, he's just focused on the game. And how can I destroy Malorian even more? And so it was just one of those ones where it left the day with like a sour taste in my mouth. And yeah, I was kind of hoping maybe after this, maybe I could change things and have a game against one of the other YouTubers or something like that. But we were going to be going out to supper and stuff like that. So there you go. A huge loss to the Orcs and Goblins. Everything went wrong, including me being stupid and making big mistakes. And starting day one, being 1 and 2, really was bad. I go into tournaments hoping to go win more than I lose, so I have to win both games the next day. Plus, at this point here, I'm hoping not to be the worst. I've taken some pretty big blows. So there you go. Thanks for watching, and sorry it didn't go better. Bye.